my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it's lovely to see you today. In this video we're talking about the power of the mind and the imagination to make your spells even more magical. So grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. I think a lot of us forget how powerful we are. Like, we don't even fully understand as human beings the mind and how it works. So much that we hear, that we see in TV programs, that we hear about on the news, of people being healed, people doing incredible things because they can manifest it or because they have made it happen, and you think, how on earth does that happen? I'm a witch and I can't make that happen. And the truth is, you can. We can all do these incredible miracles, if you like, because we're all doing magic all the time. When you charge your cup of tea, when you put certain herbs together to try and ease your upset stomach, when you try and do any of these things in your magical craft, you are doing miracles. So what we're talking about today is how our minds are the thing that make us magical. The power of our imagination to manifest, to change and create our reality. It's all documented all over the place. If I can, I'll find some articles and things, but I'm sure some of you will ask me to do videos specifically on some of these things in future. So if you would like me to do any of those things, like single videos on things, just leave me a comment. Don't forget as well, if you're new here, you can click the subscribe button to become part of the butterfly family. Leave me a like, comment, tell me all your thoughts and feelings on this subject. But let's get to it, shall we? So the first thing I want to talk about is placebo effect, and this is something that I saw a lot when I was nursing. I worked at one of the biggest hospitals in Birmingham, which is right in the middle of England, and we had a lot of research doctors and scientists and charities doing work there, especially when I worked on the cancer ward there, and I saw a lot of the placebo effect there. This is where you didn't know whether you were giving the person the real medicine or a lookalike that was just made out of sugar. And this was something that was amazing to see, because when the results came out, quite often you'd be like, oh my god, my patient wasn't even on the medication, and yet they had improvement in their condition, they had improvement in everything that they needed. And I remember just being like, how does this work? And started looking into the power of the mind to heal us. And it's so true that a lot of the time the reason we can't heal ourselves and can't make things better for ourselves is because we don't believe in it. I know people who have taught themselves to walk when they've been told you're never going to walk again. For myself, I thought I'd be on crutches or in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, but given medication, given certain exercises to do, and just believing that I could improve my walking, I managed to do it. I didn't heal myself. Like, I still can't feel my legs and my hands. I still have days where my legs play up. But by doing the work and by really, really believing and using my imagination to picture myself better, to picture myself in a better place, to picture myself walking, doing meditations about walking places, all these things really helped improve my walking. My friend used to be a yoga teacher, and she told me a story about children who had severe disabilities. I think it was in India, could be wrong, but I think it was in India, and they used to bring them to this guy, and they would lie the children down on mats, yoga mats, and they wouldn't move. They'd just lie there and imagine themselves doing whole yoga sequences, yoga routines, and they found over time their muscle mass improved and they were able to do more for themselves, even though they were not actually doing the exercises. That is the power of our minds. When you then apply that to spell work and witchcraft, really the world is your oyster. You can make anything happen. All it comes down to is believing in yourself and believing in the spell that you're putting together. The first thing that I ever came across to do with this was manifestation, and I think it's something that most people at least have heard about, you know, The Secret. I remember when that came out, I think I was in university or something, and reading it and just being like, oh my gosh, I can literally make anything happen just by believing it. It's not that simple, but I remember I did make a few things happen just by really believing in it, focusing on it, imagining what it would feel like to be able to drive or to be able to get that job that I wanted, and feeling those feelings, imagining myself in that job. And then when you go for the interview, you're so confident, you feel good, you can feel that feeling, and you ace it and you get the job. That has happened so many times, and if you just look up manifestation techniques, they are so varied. There's a lot of different ways of doing it, and there are a lot of scammers out there, so just be careful. But you can basically teach yourself manifestation. I can certainly do a video with my husband, who's read a lot about manifestation. It was a little bit of an obsession for a while for him. So if you'd like us to do a video on that in future together, definitely let me know down below, because we would be more than willing to do it. The next thing I wanted to say is that we create our reality. There are a lot of different theories about reality and about what we see and feel and touch and hear, and how our senses, what's the word I'm looking for, interpret what's happening around us. Because the truth is that what you're seeing and hearing and feeling are just how your brain is processing information. So if you think about that on some level, how do you know that the colour blue is the same as what somebody else sees the colour blue as being? How do we know that? Like, how do you know we're all seeing yellow as yellow? There are some people who, when they see a colour, they can know. When they hear a piece of music, they can see colour, like literally see colour dancing around them. Yeah, so there are lots of different ways of interpreting information. And I think too often we just take black is black and white is white, or this is this and that is that, because we're always taught it. But is that the truth? Really? We have to stop being caught up in this 3D world, because when you start learning about, you know, there are dimensions out there that are 5D. I mean, I couldn't even imagine 5D. There are worlds out there that are incredible. We're in a multi-dimensional world. We know that because of physics and mathematics. We're starting to really open our minds up through science, but we need to catch up. We need to start to realize that we are creating our universe. We are the ones that have that power. And when you start to realize that, you start to think about the power that your mind has. If you can harness that power into your spell work, you could literally make anything happen. You are the magic. There is nothing out there that you need to worry about. There's nothing out there that you need to fret about. If you need a new job, you can make it happen. If you want to move house, you can make it happen. Even like my best friend did a vision board, and she put a picture of a car on this vision board that she wanted. It was like a goldy orange colour, and it was a specific kind of like big car, and she just picked it because she thought it looked cool. And then 2 years went by and she hadn't even looked at this vision board, and she was moving house, and when she looked at the vision board, it was exactly the same picture as the car that she'd just bought. She created that. She made that happen. So be careful where your thoughts go. And I talk about mindfulness a lot on my blog. It's called Blooming Mindfulness. This channel is called Blooming Mindfulness because I want you to understand that you have the power to change the way you think about yourself, the way that you think about life. You have all the magic. You are the magic. You don't need expensive crystals that come from certain place and certain herbs and things. Yes, those are great for channeling your intentions into during a spell, but you can do a spell with just your mind. And if you can do that with your tools that you've got together, just imagine what you can do. And I really want you to start thinking about the way that you talk to yourself. Quite often we talk very negatively to ourselves in a way that we wouldn't speak to even our worst enemy. Some of the thoughts I used to have were really horrible to myself. And when I started to learn about manifestation, I realised I'm feeling bad about myself and the way I look and the way clothes fit and the way my hair looks and everything, because I'm saying those things to myself. It's powerful. Our thoughts are powerful. You are the magic. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video and it can help you to start channeling your magic through your imagination. Start thinking about how you can change the way you talk to yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you see your powerful energy. Like, this is what happens to a Beverley when she's been working with Diana for a while. You just come to see that you're this powerful goddess, just like that goddess that you worship. You can be whatever you want to be. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to head down below, leave me a cheeky little like so I know that you liked it and you got something out of it, and I can bring more like this to the channel in future. Don't forget, if there's something that you want me to do a total video on, like me and my husband are thinking of doing like a podcasty type thing where we deep dive into some of these topics. If that's something that you would like me to do, if you want me to do a story time about things that I've made happen through my imagination, if you want to hear about my nursing days, anything that you want to know, let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you, and I often will do videos just because they've been requested by someone. And last but certainly not least, if you like my content, if you like my face, don't forget to head down below, click that little subscribe button, ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays, my health permitting. I really do my very best to be here with you every week, twice a week. Take care, everyone. Remember, you're the magic, so make it happen this week. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.